Hey guys, Joanne here with Newegg TV. I'm here to do an overview on this InWin H-Frame Mini open air chassis. Now these cases come in the red and black Extreme Edition, which I'll be covering in more detail, and they also come in green and blue. And a little bit of information about this specific line is that I did the H-Frame ATX case back in April of this year, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. And also this is a very unique line of cases as it is nearly completely open and it's made up of aluminum plates. So let's go ahead and see what the Mini has to offer. So before I go over the red and black case here, I'd like to go over the other cases and the accessories that come in the box. So here is a quick look at the red and black version. Move that aside. And a look at the green version. I call this green apple green because it's so bright and don't you just want to take a bite out of it? And the last one is blue and silver. Now this is more calming, I feel like. I like this one too. So let's put this aside. And what's important is, I want to talk to you about the accessories is because you will need one in particular in order to remove these side panels. So let's dig into the little bag here. What do we have? We have the standard user guide, very helpful. I looked through here, so I knew how to set up everything. There's a very detailed look, and it's picture too, of how to install everything. But moving on, there's also another simpler guide in various languages. Power cord for the power supply, well, the lead that goes to the power supply in the case. And finally, some very, very important items. So you get a couple of these sticky cable clamps. These are plastic cable clamps. You'll see one on the right side of the case once I show you. And this is the all-important tool. This is the hexagonal screw cap removal tool in order to take off the screws that are firmly on the side panels. You won't be able to remove these with your fingers, even with tiny fingers like mine. It's just on there real tight. And also this bag of, you get some extra for screw caps in case, I suppose, you lose one, just comes off and rolls under the table somewhere, you can no longer find it, as well as some other mounting screws. Finally, one last thing. It also, all of them actually, come with this glass panel, side panel, and I'm going to remove, you know what, might as well just take the red one. And I will remove the screws. I'll show you. Of course, I won't show you the entire time, but so let's take off this panel. All you'd have to do is match up the hexagonal shape and remove it. So once these screws are removed, you just carefully slide this off, and boom, there we have it. This is a very nice piece of aluminum actually. It's quite flawless. It feels and looks absolutely amazing. One thing to note is that I find that it's actually easier to put the screw caps using my fingers versus using this tool to screw it onto the screws because the glass is a bit thicker than this aluminum piece right here. Let me see, side by side, you can kind of see, yeah. Anyway, so here's a look with the glass panel on. For those of you who prefer to have a window to look into your components, I personally like that, but hey, to each their own. Here's a look at the red and black version. I want to go over the measurements first before I talk about the aluminum plating and the rest of the 360. It measures 4.3 inches wide, 10.3 inches tall, and 11.3 inches deep. This case is made up of 8 of these aluminum plates, measure between 1.6 millimeters to 2 millimeters thick. As you can tell, some of the pieces are thicker than the others. And as you can also see, air flows all the way through the case. Like front to back, top bottom, it's just completely just air flowy. As you can tell, but because of that, it does not have any fan mounts or water cooling mounts, just an FYI. So let's go in more detail for the 360 look. So you see there's this piece here in the front that kind of obstructs airflow. This is the power supply. It's the first time actually, well maybe one of the first times that I've seen a power supply mounted in the front of the case. This case comes with a pre-installed 180 watt internal PSU, and it is a single plus 12 volt rail design at 10 amps, total 180 watts. It also comes with a silent 40 millimeter fan, which you'll probably get a look at when I show you the top of the case. And over here, you get your power button, reset button, 2 USB 3.0 ports, headphone, microphone jacks, and your hard drive LED indicator. In this area here, you can't really see, but this is where your slim optical drive goes, as well as a 2.5 inch drive. But once I open up the right side panel, you'll get a better look inside. Moving right along, here's the side panel with the INWIN logo recessed. On the rear, here's the power port with the lead that goes to the power supply, if you see over there. And knockout for your input-output shield for your motherboard, as well as this is the low-profile card slot. You get a max length of 180 millimeters if you include the card, and the H-Frame Mini only fits a single slot card, sorry, as there are dual slot low profile cards on the market. Just something for you to know. And another flawless side panel. At the top of the case, you get some honeycomb ventilation here, which is great, as it also is a blocker in case you accidentally drop something on top, God forbid, but hopefully your case stays nice and safe under your protection. On the bottom, also, all that airflow, as well as these rubber strips here to keep your unit in place so that it does not move if you accidentally bump against it or something like that. Now I'm going to take off the screws using this screw cap removal tool to the right side panel. That is not the right side. Ha ha ha. Okay, this is the right side. Now that the 4 screw caps have been removed, we can go ahead and take a look at what the right side has. I'll just remove this side panel, and what's cool about this is that if you happen to get this all scuffed up or something, you can flip it and have a new side panel. Very cool. So inside, here is a mount for a slim optical drive if you would like to install one, as well as 2 mounts for 2.5 inch drives. They all come with easy swap modules, which is great because they route the cables for you, and it's just so much easier. And you just plug in your devices and you're good to go. What's great is also they've sleeved your cables. Helps with the cooling as well as the overall cleanliness of the look. I also measured with a ruler earlier. You get about 20 millimeters or slightly more of space behind the motherboard tray to route your cables. And this case is compatible with mini ITX motherboards. Let's take a look at the interior. Inside, here's the area where you mount your mini ITX board. Oops, sorry about the scuffs. And they've included the standoffs on here for you already. This is the area where you place your card, your graphics card, and let's take a look at the cables that they've tied down for you. Give me a moment to remove this. There we are. Here are the front panel connectors. Of course, you get the 20-pin USB 3.0 header, as well as HD audio, and of course, all of the power reset and LED connectors. What I really like about this is it's sleeved all in black, so you don't see the colors of all the wires. It goes much better with the case. Here's a look at the power supply cables. You get the 20 plus 4 pin main connector that plugs onto your motherboard, 4 pin CPU plug. What else? 3 SATA data connectors. There we are. That connect to the easy swap modules. And the power connectors for the modules are also connected to the power supply. You don't need to worry about routing your cables, like I mentioned earlier, on the right side of the case. That wraps up our overview on these INWIN H-Frame Mini open-air chassis. Once again, it comes in red and black, green and black, and blue and silver. So go ahead and pick out the one that you'd like when you go ahead and purchase. So I'm Joanne, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and we'll see you next time.